Hello, people. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the propaganda machine. This is the first live video, so apologies in advance because this is going to be a bit of a wild one. So, Sunday is the big game of the weekend. Manchester City versus Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. And in recent years, this game has been a formality. We have been getting peppered, peppered, and peppered left, right, and center. And it's only last season that we were able to somehow get a draw. And even that game, we literally gave Man City all the possession. And if you just look at the recent fixtures, so the 5-0 battering, I remember that one. That was nasty work. I feel like the back five was like Kolasinac, Rob Holding, Chambers. I don't know if Mustafi was there. Oh, that was horrible. Then that 2-1 loss, that's probably the first time we see what Arteta was trying to do for Arsenal. That was literally the first time I actually feel that he implemented his game plan and his style of play. The 3-1 that was at the Emirates when we was in our title race for the first time, and then that 4-1 with Rob Holding. So the last two games, we got the win, 1-0 at the Emirates with Martinelli, got a deflected goal, and then as I've mentioned, that draw. And we've also 1-1 winning on penalties in the Community Shield. So yeah, I have kind of high hopes for the game that we can get something. I wouldn't be going too far saying that, oh, we're favourites or there's a high chance that we're going to win the game, but I believe we can get something out of it. And we'll go into the injury news. So Martin Odegaard, we now know that he will not be returning for Arsenal for at least 6 weeks. At least 6 weeks he won't be returning. Kevin De Bruyne, Pep Guardiola said today that they'll assess him. So I think he might be fit for the game. As we know, Mikel Merino, Tomiyasu, and also Zinchenko, they won't be playing in this game. They're all out. For Man City, they have Oscar Bob and Nathan Ake. They're definitely out for this game. So it's not really evenly balanced because Martin Odegaard, big miss. Merino, we ain't even seen him. Man City, they've got the squad, they've got the depth, so you just know that they can cope. And us, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, but defensively, we're very solid. And now I'll go into the team news, my predicted lineup for the game. So as you can see there, you have to bear with me, people, because you know it's a madness. David Raya in goal, always. I've gone with Urian Timber right back. That's the first change that I'd like to make. Urian Timber at right back. Because I feel that Manchester City on that left side, Jeremy Doku or Grealish, they are very tricky customers. And I feel the way he started, he will be best placed to deal with that left side and potentially link up with Saka and cause more problems going the other way. Saliba and Gabriel, and another kind of surprise inclusion. We're going with Ricardo Calafiori, left back. I'd like him to make his first start. His cameo appearances, they seem very good. He seems like he does like to get forward. And with him and Timber, I just feel they'd offer something totally different. And Ben White, although Ben White, he's not done too much wrong, he plays literally every minute of every game. I don't know if he's missed 1 minute this season. Potentially, maybe in that Wolves game, but I'm not too sure. I don't think he actually has. On our midfield, I'm going with Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz. I need to see more from him from a creative point of view because it's not been the best in our midfield. Our midfield hasn't clicked. So I'm just hoping Kai Havertz can do something in midfield and be more of a presence and not shy Havertz. Don't shy away in this game. On the right, Bukayo Saka. Down the middle, we're going with Trossard. And on the left, Raheem Sterling. I think it's time for him to make his first start. Martinelli, you've had chances. It's been about 18 months where you've not turned up. So now this is on the manager. This is on the manager. I think it's about time that a change is made. So that is the lineups. So now we'll go into a few key talking points in this game. The first thing that I'd like to get my teeth into is the style of play. And it's not the worst thing, a low block, being defensively astute in the right positions. But when we go forward, we are going to need to show a lot more attacking intent than in previous games, especially in the last two games against Atlanta and Tottenham, because that game against Tot well, both games, especially the game against Atlanta just yesterday, that was a serious ball fest. I I could have gone to sleep, and if you was a neutral, you were thinking, nah, this is poor because there was just a lot of passing at the back. You saw in spells, in moments, the first 10 minutes, we were trying to go forward. But beyond that, and even like a 5 minute spell in the second half towards the end when we made some changes, when we got in and Martinelli just wasted it. There was a few patterns of play when Calafiori also come on, but yeah, what I need to see in this game is quicker passes. I need to see more risk taken from playing that from the back. We don't always need to go long. Let's try and draw Man City in on the odd occasion and play football. Let's not be afraid because if we're scared and cowards tomorrow and we're just pinned back for 70% of this game, I'm going to be fearing and fearing the worst. Yeah. So that's kind of my take. And the next point, this builds on to kind of the style of play and the intensity in attacking areas. So what we need to do when we win the ball back, because we are going to be pinned back quite a lot of this game. So our opportunities are going to be few and far between. But when we do win that ball back, we are going to need to break at pace. We cannot be afraid to go long and over the top. So whoever plays, whether that be Martinelli, Sterling, whoever it is on that left side, even Bukayo Saka, they are going to need to be on their A game once they get the ball in the attacking areas, because that is the main weak point for Manchester City. They struggle with counter attacks. And if you break fast, that's what Liverpool used to do. Liverpool, when they're pumped, you know what they were going to do? Break fast. Mane, Salah, Firmino, and then it's dangerous. Wijnaldum. So we are going to need to attack with at least 4 players anytime we go forward. There's none of this 2, 3. We're going to need to go and commit bodies forward and risk ourselves being open, because there's no point just going for the 0-0. Man City have seen previously what we done to them last season, so they are going to be more aware. They're going to be thinking of ways to break us down, and we're going to need to think of ways to catch them out, because like I say, we don't show enough attacking intent, especially in the last 2 games away from home. The Aston Villa game, that was a bit better. We had more of the ball for longer periods, but yeah, this game we're gonna need to be potent once we get the chance. Next talking point, and this is the man of the moment, Mr. Man City, Erling Haaland. So this season, he's now on 9 goals, as you can see here, which is 6 more than anybody else in the league. And whoever it is, whether it be Saliba or Gabriel, I kind of have faith in them to do a relatively good job. But our defenders, they're going to need to be on it for the whole 90 minutes, because all it's going to take is one lapse in concentration. And as much as we might poke fun at Haaland, saying he's in Saliba's penitentiary, Gabriel's locking him up, sooner or later, he will get a goal. Because 2 seasons ago, I believe he scored home and away against us. So we're just going to need to be diligent. And from a Man City perspective, if Haaland gets shut down, there's going to need to be other players that step up to the plate. And i.e., I'm looking at Savio and Phil Foden. So Phil Foden, he's not really played as much football this season. He's had 2 games. Savio, he's had 3. He's registered 1 assist so far. This is potentially going to be a problem for Man City moving forward. Who is going to step up in the big moments if Haaland gets pocketed? If Haaland is not at his best, will it be Savio? Phil Foden, I believe he's got enough credit in the bank. But what I'll be looking at for is the players on the other side. You've got Jeremy Doku and Jack Grealish. No goals, no assists. Very, very quiet from them so far this season. They look very pretty on the ball, but their output hasn't been matching what our eyes are showing us. So If Haaland is locked up this game, will these wingers step up? And moving forward, if something did happen to Haaland, do they have it in their locker to step up to the plate and deliver for Man City? Because both of them, you could say they've flattered to deceive. They look very dangerous, but their output doesn't always match up to what they show us on the pitch. So that's kind of my thoughts from a Man City perspective, because I think we can all safely say we know the Gundogan, the Bernardos, the De Bruynes, the Rodris. They could pop up with a goal at any moment. They can hit one from outside the box, and that could potentially be another avenue that they might explore. Shots from outside the box. So we're gonna need to be on it, because if we ain't on it on Sunday, yeah, it could be nasty work. Now, from an Arsenal perspective, our big players, the Sakas, Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, and whoever plays, whether it be Partey or Jorginho, they all need 8 out of 10s for us to get anything out of this game. Because Saka, in recent years at the Etihad, he has been quite relatively quiet. He's not really got much change out of whoever the left back be, whether it be Ake. I'm not sure if it was Vardy last season, but he doesn't really seem to get much change out of them. Kai Havertz, the Community Shield. I remember that game. Sorry, I remember the Community Shield, and he just had so many chances, and he just never seemed to be clinical in that game. He wasted so many chances that day. So on Sunday, those two in particular, they're gonna need at least 8 out of 10 performances. But the two in the middle, Partey and Rice, or Jorginho and Rice. Declan Rice, he's not given us an 8 out of 10 performance yet this season. Partey's not giving us an 8. Jorginho's not giving us an 8. They've all maybe given 7s or 6s, sometimes even 3s or 4s. This is the game they are going to need to step up. We need 8s or 9s, maybe even 10 out of 10 performances from them, because Man City, they are very, very tricky customers in tight positions. They're very, very intelligent. So Declan Rice, Partey, they're gonna need to be on their A game. And it's not really defensively too much that I worry about them. It is on the ball. On the ball, these two in particular have been horrific this season. Horrific. Thomas Partey, he used to be that player that breaks the lines. I used to love watching him. You just knew that when he was playing for Arsenal, we were in safe hands at least 90% of the time. But recently, he doesn't look the same. I don't know what it is, but on the ball, he is very, very sloppy. And in this game, the way Man City press, you ain't going to get time. So you are going to need to bring back the old version of yourself. And Declan Rice, you I wouldn't say passing is your strong point, but your ball carrying, you're going to need to bring that. You are going to need to, at times, bring that ball 30, 40, 50 yards up the pitch just by yourself alone. Because, like I say, this game, we cannot afford to just be pinned back for the whole 90 minutes. And also, this is the last thing. Mikel Arteta, I am looking at you this game. I am looking at your title winning credentials this game. If somebody is having a stinker, I don't care who it is. If someone's having a stinker, whether it be after 15 minutes, if someone is stinking a gaff out, you are gonna need to be brave and hook whoever that be. If Party's losing the ball constantly and we concede or something bad happens, I want to see you be brave. I want to see you not wait until the 80th minute to make subs. I need to know that you have the minerals. Will you make changes at half time? Because very rarely have I seen Arteta be brave in his substitutions. Only once can I remember Nuno Tavares. It was like Mikel Arteta scapegoated him and just hooked him after I think it was 19 minutes in the FA Cup against Nottingham Forest. I need that version of Mikel Arteta for this game. He needs to have no prisoners, hold no prisoners, just whoever plays poorly, get them off. And don't be afraid to change things if things are not going our way. With that being said, I'm now going into my score predictions. I believe this game will be very tight and it could go either way. I'm leaning more towards Man City, but I don't think you're going to ever see me predict an Arsenal loss. So I'm going with 1-1. Raheem Sterling, he'll get the goal for us, come back to haunt Man City. I don't know if we're going to get the goal first, but I think potentially we might go behind for the first time this year away from home because I don't believe we've trolled a single game away from home. Guys, apologies if it weren't to your liking, but it's my first time doing a live stream all by myself. So if you did like it, hit the like button, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments below to let me know how that went. Bless people. Have a good one.